Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Good afternoon. Okay, it's noon and we know how busy you all are. So we are always going to begin right on time. So again, welcome. I'm going to enable the waiting room to allow for everyone to join, and I'm going to begin recording. This is our marketing disclaimer. By being involved in this platform, you are authorizing permission for this to be videotaped and uploaded to our website and for use in our marketing materials. Additionally, no reproduction or use of this video may be made without prior written consent. Thank you all so much for being here this morning for our program, Waterproofing Roofs and Balconies. The team from AK Certified Roofing has a great presentation in store for you today. So again, thank you for being here to learn. We would love to see where everyone is joining in from and if you're a board member or a CAM. So if you will put that in the chat right now, we'd love to hear from you and see where you're logging in from. Speaking of chat, if you have any questions during the presentation, I ask that you please have them ready, but to wait until the end to put them into the chat. And as always, I ask that everyone please mute themselves if it's not already muted on your end. Additionally, I will send in the chat an email address where you can schedule a consultation for your association with AK. It is my honor to introduce AK Roofing's owner. Please meet Andrew. Andrew was born in Boston and moved to Palm Coast in 2001. He created AK Certified Roofing Company in 2017. Having been in the construction industry for over a decade, in these past 7 years, AK Certified Roofing has grown tremendously. Andrew started his company locally in Palm Coast and since has expanded throughout the entire state. Andrew takes pride in meeting the needs of his neighbors in the local communities and building relationships with all customers. He has certifications in both building contracting and roofing contracting. Andrew, we're looking forward to hearing your presentation today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Andrew DiGaetano, and I'm the founder of AK Certified Contracting. We have been serving Florida homeowners and businesses for over 7 years now. As many of you know, this year has been especially tough for us in Florida with recent hurricanes. So many of us have faced losses, whether to our homes or businesses or within our communities. My thoughts are with everyone who has been affected. I want you to know that we're all in this together. AK Certified Roofing, our mission is not only to help repair the damage, but also provide lasting solutions. We specialize in providing high quality roofing services. Customer satisfaction is huge to us as well. Whether it's flat roof, shingles, or waterproofing, we've seen it all, and I know how critical it is to have the right solutions in place. Today we're going to go over some waterproofing and coating, and we're going to jump right into it. But I did read something recently, and it was pretty interesting. Did you know that the average roof collects about 600 gallons of water with just 1 inch of rain? That's like having your roof hold 6 bathtubs full of water every time it rains. So the real question is, what is your roof doing with all that water, and is it ready for the next downpour? So we're going to jump right into it, and it's going to go over the overview and options that waterproofing can help provide. In Florida, we deal with a lot of humidity and rain, and of course, hurricanes. Waterproofing could be the unsung hero when it comes to protecting homes and businesses from structural damage caused by moisture. It's not just about keeping water out. It's also about preserving the integrity of the roof and expanding its life. This can save homeowners thousands of dollars in premature replacements or repairs, as well as HOAs. Some of the different things that we're going to talk about are going to be TPO, EPDM, and modified bitumen. These are all different types of flat roofs and roof and systems that can be waterproofed, as well as decks and balconies. A couple of the things that are, I guess, quick topics to talk about for specifically with TPO. When it comes to waterproofing, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Some of the most effective systems include TPO, EPDM, and modified bitumen. The best thing for instance, for TPO, it's ideal for energy efficiency. while liquid applied systems offer seamless protection. We'll dive into the advantages and considerations for each system, helping you understand which might be best fit for your specific project or need. Um, and right now, I'm gonna hand it off. I'm gonna pass it on to Chris. I'm gonna actually introduce him. I'm excited to introduce Chris. He's a co-host today. Christopher Seay with GACO. He's the sales manager for Northeast Florida. And GACO is a leading provider of roofing products that are designed to waterproof everything from the roots to the rooftop. Chris has extensive experience in the field and will be sharing some individual insights about industry-leading products that can make all differences in roof and balcony waterproofing. I'm confident that his expertise will be fresh perspective on your property or your project and your property. Chris, the camera's yours.
Thank you, Andrew. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having me. Yes, my name is Christopher. I cover North Florida for GACO. I've been with GACO for about 5 years, based out of Jacksonville. I cover west of Tallahassee and as far south as Brevard County, mostly Palm Bay, Orlando, up through Ocala. We have other area managers throughout the state that cover the Central Florida, out of Tampa down through Miami as well too. And then I got somebody that picks up from west of Tallahassee and handles the Panhandle. So we do have a lot of support for the contractors, for property owners, commercial building owners. So we specialize in waterproofing the envelope of the building. So just a little bit about GACO and some history there is we are a single source manufacturer with facilities throughout the U.S. What that means is we focus on manufacturing our products and our products alone. We don't have other manufacturers produce our products. What that is able for us to do is control the quality control aspect of it and make sure that the product is coming off the assembly line and onto the property without any issues, without any QC problems. We have a pretty stringent quality control process in our manufacturing facilities. The term roots to rooftops. We have products that are designed to waterproof all facets of the building envelope, and that is below grade waterproofing, foundation waterproofing, parking garages, pedestrian decking systems, vegetative roof systems, silicone and or fluid applied roof restoration systems for a roof that may be 10 to 15 years old. Can be a little bit younger, can also be a little bit older. All of our solutions do have proper FM and Miami-Dade approvals. So we've been in the Florida market for quite some time, and we have millions of square footage of warranted systems out there. Those are done by GACO qualified applicators such as AK certified. We've been seeing about almost 15 to 20 years of success in the Florida market with the GACO products. So for warranty purposes, we offer warranties on the decking systems that go from about 5 to 10 years. The norm is usually 5 for a new restoration system. Sometimes you can expand that a little bit more into the 10-year mark, but usually no more than 10 on decking systems. On the roof coating systems, we go from usually on flat roofs alone, we go 10, 15, 20-year systems. There is a 5-year option. However, it's not really worth going that low in the term. It's usually best to go 10, 15. Industry standard, I usually see about 10 years. So those warranties are offered only by GACO qualified applicators, and it's something that I work with contractors such as AK certified to go through a process and help them become that status. That way that we can provide you with the best system and solution for either your roof restoration or for your pedestrian decking systems, even parking garages, or what have you. So, it's always recommended to enter into some kind of contract with a qualified applicator just to ensure that that warranty is held up. There are damages out there that are beyond our control as a manufacturer. Sometimes hurricanes can cause a little bit of issue, but it's always good to be able to get somebody up there and make have maintenance completed once every, at least once a year, maybe sometimes twice a year, just to ensure that that system is fully intact. And so in our roof restoration systems, most of the time, some of y'all may have heard of GACO. We're one of 6 manufacturers of silicone roof restoration products in the country. There's about probably 60 different labels out there. So if you do the math, there's a lot of folks that have the same product in a bucket with just a different label. We kind of pride ourselves on as that single source manufacturer. But with that being said, with our QC and our research and development, we've actually been able to provide a product for roof restoration in the silicone realm that we don't have any ponding water exclusions in our system warranties. That means that if you do have a warranty and you do have some ponding areas up there on the roof, no reason to fret. We're able to, our products are able to maintain that permanent ponding water guarantee, and that's also included in our warranties. So yeah, how often should you look into restoring your roofs? So we are typically coming in at the end of the life cycle of your typical or conventional roofing system, whether that be a TPO, whether that be a modified bitumen, EPDM. Don't really see that too often. But on the roofs, we come in about between 10 and 15 years of the life of that conventional roof and restore it to expand it, extend it another 10, 15, or 20 years. That way you don't have to do a full tear off. And in Florida, once you get into 2 roofing systems, if you have to tear it off, you have to tear it all the way off to the deck. It's a lot. So if you have a secondary roofing system and it's a good candidate, it's 10 to 15 years old, a fluid applied roof coating is the best bet. As far as balconies go, I do have systems and products or solutions that are either new construction or restoration. And so your expectancy on a balcony is probably 5 to 7 years. That's how often you should look into having it completed. So I kind of mentioned a little bit on the roofing side. So this is a little bit more direct as far as what type of chemistries we're looking at for the types of systems or solutions that we're looking at. So when it comes to decking, waterproofing your pedestrian decking or vehicular decking, more than likely, if it's a new system or new waterproofing system, you're looking at a polyurethane deck coating. The polyurethanes are just they're able to withstand the everyday foot traffic or vehicular traffic if it's a parking garage. And then those last, like I said, 5 to 7 years. There is an option to do an acrylic recoat on top of that polyurethane to extend it another maybe 5 years. So there definitely are options between the two for those, but polyurethane is definitely probably the number one throughout Florida for deck coatings. When it comes to on the roofing side of things, silicone is industry-wide. Silicone is probably number 2 as far as fluid applied restoration. Acrylics are number 1. However, in Florida, with the precipitation, the climate that we have in the rainy months, there's a lot of water that ends up on those flat roofs, and silicone is really the best option because it can withstand ponding areas. As I mentioned, GACO can withstand permanent ponding areas, permanent ponding water. So if you have a flat roof, silicone is a fantastic option. If you have a flat roof with heavy foot traffic, you may look into maybe a polyurethane coating as well too. Polyurethanes have, like I mentioned, high tensile strength, they don't tear quite as easily. Silicones can have a tendency of causing some damage if there's high foot traffic, maybe a lot of HVAC units up on your roof, a lot of different trades. But a polyurethane is probably best for just a stronger application. And we do have hybrid systems. You can have a modified bitumen roof on right now that is looking for a restoration. If you want to give it a little bit more strength, you can do a polyurethane base coat and a silicone top coat. So, and that's kind of where Andrew and I come in to, walking those roofs and kind of, getting a scope of work and understanding of what that particular building or project needs. So what is the process of preventive maintenance? On the roof side of things, what we look for as a fluid applied restoration on those conventional roofing systems, that's something where Andrew or somebody from his team and I will visit the site. We'll get a good inspection of what we need to do in order to provide you with the best system. If it's a flat roof and you don't have a lot of foot traffic on that property, silicone's probably you're going to be your best bet. Maybe if there's a lot of mechanical equipment, a lot of HVAC units, maybe we look into a potential polyurethane candidate. It's really going to depend on the budget and what the needs are for that particular building. We don't treat every building as the same or every property. We kind of want to just verify that. But most of the time, about 95% of the time, we're probably going to be looking at a silicone roof restoration. So silicone in design is a moisture cured product. So we always want to make sure that the roof surface is clean and dry. That's on the surface and below the surface. If there's too much damage, there's too much water infiltration and moisture below the surface, it's probably not going to be a good candidate. And that's kind of where I would say, okay, maybe this is a good candidate for a re-roof. There's nothing really a fluid applied restoration is going to be able to do. Once we go through that process and we verify that the roof is a good candidate, depending on it, whether it's a TPO or modified bitumen or EPDM, the prep work could be a little bit different, but we always want to clean it and power wash it. What that's going to do is just provide proper adhesion on that coating to the substrate of the roof. Fully detail any seams and penetrations. What we want to do, any water infiltration is probably going to be coming from a penetration point like a seam, a curve, or a candidate. And what we want to do is be able to use a flashing grade material to detail that out. And then from there, once all that's completed, we will go into a full monolithic fluid applied coating to coat the entire roof and make it seamless and waterproof. The good news is with the roof restoration, business as usual. It's not going to disrupt any type of business. If you're part of a condo association, there should be very little disruption whatsoever when there's a coating system being applied. Usually takes, obviously here in Florida, depending on the weather, now is a really good time of the year to be applying fluid applied systems from October until probably March or April. When you get into the summer months, I'm not saying you can't be able to put a fluid applied system down. Just with the rain in and every day or every other day through those summer months, it can cause some delays in the application process. But this time of year, depending on the size of the project as well too, if you have a roof that's 10 to 15,000 square feet, you're probably looking somewhere 7 to 10 days, maybe 14 days. It doesn't take a whole lot, and it could take less than that as well too. As far as the balconies go, same thing. So when you're looking at waterproofing your balconies, which is extremely important here in Florida, especially with you don't ever really want to leave concrete exposed to the elements of water, humidity, even the salt in the air as well too, as you're close to the beach. So when you're doing balconies, we're always looking at waterproofing either concrete, whether it be newly poured concrete, or a restoration process. You can even actually do plywood substrates as well too. Getting into larger condo associations. Most of those are going to be concrete. What we're looking for is making sure that the concrete is structurally sound. Also with the plywood, we don't ever want to try to apply a coating on top of something that's not structurally sound. If everything's okay, everything's good, then again, properly clean it, make any necessary repairs to that substrate, and then start beginning your restoration on that. So on balconies, it's a little bit more technical and detailed. More coats are involved to ensure it's going to meet the life expectancy of that roof. So you'll still do your full detail seams and penetrations. If you have a concrete substrate, we're always looking to apply a vapor barrier on that concrete. And the reason why is concrete's porous, and it has a tendency of gassing off. And when it does that, you get bug holes, pinholes, and polyurethanes, and cause some adhesion issues. So once all the details done, then you're looking at a 2 to 3 coat urethane or acrylic waterproofing membrane. Don't ever really want to just do one coat. That's not really going to do anything. Your true waterproofing system is going to be your base coat, and then your wear coats for any foot traffic or vehicular traffic is going to come in your second, third, and fourth application of those products. Only would recommend acrylics on maybe a balcony that's not holding standing water, something that may be covered. Most of the time, you're going to look at a urethane if it's exposed to the elements. These processes tend to last a little bit longer than a roof coating. But the idea is we don't want to, if we're doing a walkway outside of the front door of these condo, we want to be able to provide a urethane that could be a 2-component urethane chemical reaction. That way, we're not locking people in their units for a longer period of time. So usually you can get light foot traffic on between coats, probably about 12 to 16 hours. Sometimes people work overnights. Sometimes they work a little bit quicker, but I'd say probably a good minimum of 8 to 12 hours, and that's light foot traffic. Andrew, you want to take this?
Yeah, so so I guess a couple of tips for communicating with board members and other individuals that you might have to talk to. You can present these solutions to the board homeowners. It's essential to ask the right questions, obviously. For instance, what are their biggest concerns? Are you looking for energy savings or durability prior? Is durability priority? Framing the conversation around their needs helps decide the value and the long-term maintenance and waterproofing that might need to be taken in account for. A couple other things. I believe, Chris, you'd be able to sit in with board members and go to meetings, provide technical support, maybe help dive in a little bit deeper and give a better understanding of the systems they might have the ability to waterproof, and might have some additional information that might clarify some things for those systems. And then a couple other topics, I guess, to touch on would be like the maintenance of the maintenance frequency. The best systems need maintenance. For roofs, a solid waterproofing job should last, like he said, depending on the application, could be 10 to 15 years. Every 5 to 7 years, staying on top of these intervally, staying on top of these things is key to ensuring to get a full investment or profit. Sorry, excuse me, a full life out of your investment. But other than that, I guess we're going to move on to questions. I'm not sure if there is any questions from anyone.
Hi, Andrew. I have a couple of questions actually. Specifically to what you just spoke about on the warranty. I know that you guys talk about maintenance and having someone who's certified the product manufacturer. Can you maybe expand on that a little bit? Because I do know in my past experience I've been at a property before that had a warranty, but they actually weren't covered under the warranty because they did not do the required scheduled maintenance on that roof coating during the life of that roof. And I something that a lot of CAMs maybe don't think about, or boards don't think about, that you have this warranty and you think you're just kind of grandfathered in under this 10 to 15-year warranty, but really you have requirements that you have to meet in order for that warranty to be upheld.
I think Chris can answer this a little bit more than I can, but I think one thing that would help is like a maintenance contract, going out there and maintaining it periodically, semi-annually, ensures that the roof or the balcony is up to par. But I think Chris can dive in a little bit deeper on the warranty aspect of that from the product side.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just kind of speak to kind of how we handle the GACO labor material warranty. So on the roofing side of things, we offer a 10, 15, and 20-year no leak warranty. And so when we go through the process of completing that project and the final inspections done by a GACO Field Tech representative, we're verifying that everything was done by our recommendation so we can provide the building owners or the board, the CAMs with those warranties. So from there, the industry speaking, the contractor will have the first 2 years of that warranty. They'll provide any repairs needed in the first 2 years, and then we would take care of it on the remaining portion of that warranty. So see if you're in year 5 and you're starting to have a leak. It's if you can locate the warranty and have that on file at all times, there is a leak line that is available to call and report that leak. That would kind of get me involved to come up there and inspect and why that leak is occurring, right? So unfortunately, not everything is covered under the warranty. There's some issues with like mechanical damage that may occur to the system. That's kind of the importance of having a maintenance contract. If there's heavy HVAC units or a lot of HVAC units on that property, I hate to say it, I see it all the time. Those technicians aren't the gentlest of folks. They can wreak havoc on some roofing systems, especially when it comes to silicone. So that's another reason why it's good to have a GACO or a manufacturer qualified contractor on those roofs for a year, at least once a year, maybe sometimes twice, just to pick up any dings and scratches or any issues that may occur. If it's a failure to the system, then that's something we'll absolutely get on top of and make sure that we're ensuring that the system is going to hold up to its life expectancy, and we will get a GACO qualified applicator. Say for example, Andrew wins the lottery and says like, "Hey, I'm going to move to Costa Rica. I'm done with this." We'll still be around to ensure that we get another qualified applicator up there too, to make sure that those repairs are completed and you become leak free.
Okay, great.
Thanks for your question. Long-winded.
No, that's good because I
Okay.
think that's a lot of people skip over that important maintenance part, and you are 100% correct on the AC
Definitely a big key.
technicians.
Is there any other questions or anything from anyone?
And I guess one other thing, Andrew, as someone who hasn't worked with you before, portfolio CAM, a property that you haven't been to before, after a storm, which we just experienced, I know there were a lot of properties a couple years ago that had more significant damage than this year, but what's your typical response time after a storm, a roof leak at a property that you haven't been to before? I mean, obviously your clients that you've been working with for a long time would be first on your list, but for those of us here that haven't worked for you before, how quickly are you all able to get out to a property for an emergency?
Of course. So us being on the east coast of Florida, we don't tend to get too many direct hits by hurricanes, but with the Milton that just came through the state, our response time has been, if I had to say personally, it's been really, really good. You can check out some of our Google reviews, and most of the ones recently have just been about the responsiveness from our team and how fast we've gotten out there to assess the damages and repair them and do emergency repairs and tarping and stuff like that. So we try to do our best to accommodate everyone. We take the first call. I was out that Milton was just off the coast of the East Coast, and I was out there that same day on roofs, looking and fixing damage from the storm. So we do a pretty good job of that and trying to keep everyone in line and being transparent as possible with our scheduling. We have a pretty good staff that keeps up with it.
Okay, everyone, if there are no further questions, I went into the chat and put the email address that you can grab. It's also been on the screen to set up a consultation. How does very briefly, how does a consultation work with you, Andrew?
So if you guys want to meet with myself or Chris, you guys can email us directly, call us. You can go on our website. There's some forms you can fill out there as well, and we can set up an appointment, come out there and do an assessment. Our assessments are pretty cut and dry. They're pretty free as far as that goes. If it's something really technical, we can get Christopher involved as well, and he'd be more than happy to assist. And if it's on a different area that he doesn't represent for the state, he has other colleagues that would be able to do that as well. But if anyone does have anything that they would like us to come out, take a look at, or get some pricing on, or opinion on, you can contact us directly through our website, email, or phone line.
Great. Okay, everyone, get back to your busy days, and thank you for spending some time with us to learn more about AK Certified Roofing.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.